Things are not always going to be perfect, but you could still make them happen. And that applies to everything. I believe that applies to when I wake up late and I don't have the full 90 minutes to go to the gym. Do I just not go to the gym, or do I take the 30 minutes I do have and go to the gym? Or do I run outside, or do I make something happen? And a lot of times I just try to make something happen anyways, because the majority of the world would take that same exact instance and use it as an excuse or a crutch to not do the thing at all, because the thing is not perfect. So it means where the traffic lies in the world is to ditch the thing completely because everything's not perfect. And I was thinking about this because on Monday, things were not perfect for me. I woke up late. I snoozed so much on Monday because I had a bad Sunday, which connected to Monday, that I didn't get to go to the gym on Monday and do my regular workout. On Monday, I typically work out chest and tris. I went to the gym on Tuesday. I woke up early and I did get to the gym on Tuesday, and I went to do chest and tris on Tuesday instead. And then what did I find on Tuesday at the gym? Well, most of the machines and the bars and stuff I use for chest were empty on Tuesday. And I'm like, wow, this is actually a lot better. There's no traffic. 'Cause a lot of times on Monday, I got to wait for the machine because everybody's using the same machine, same bars, because everybody's working out chest on Monday. And I'm like, maybe that's a hack. Maybe I should start switching the stuff I do on different days and do the opposite days. Maybe I should start doing abs on Monday. I start doing legs on Tuesday and chest on Wednesday and back on Thursday. Like, start switching it up, because the majority of the people are doing the same exact routine. And where the traffic lies is not where I want to be. I want to be somewhere less saturated with no traffic. The workout feels much better. I get much more done and accomplished. And I save a lot of time. That led me to another thought. And the thought was, a lot of times when I wake up early and I hit the road at 6 a.m., there's no traffic. And I get to think clearly. And I don't run into bumper to bumper on the highway. And I don't get frustrated. And I get to the office early. And I get my mindset right. And I get some time for peace and thinking, creative thinking. But when I wake up at 7:38 and you hit the road with all traffic, it takes me double, triple the time to get to work. And then you get to work, you don't get that clarity. Why? Because you're stuck in the traffic with everybody else. And everybody else that's inside of the traffic is the average folk. But when you leave at 6 a.m., there's no traffic and you get there early and you save a lot of time. That led me to another thought. I thought about sales. And I said, how do you relate traffic on the road, traffic at the gym, to traffic in sales? And then somebody said something, and it's like,
there it is.
Somebody yesterday said,
Man, this is my 6th call in a row. If I get one more call like this, I'm done with this thing.
and they were talking about their dialer. Then I thought, that's the traffic. That's where the traffic jam is. It's typically where everybody says 6 calls or 10 calls, 15 calls, 20 calls. I get beat up on those. I'm done with this. That's where it's saturated. But I thought about somebody else who's new and just joined us, and at 7:19 p.m. sent me a text and said this dialer is fire. And then at 7:52 p.m. sent me a text of a same-day submission. Then at 8:45 p.m. sent me another text, second same-day submission. Then at 9:30 p.m. another text, third same-day submission. This person ended up doing 4 deals from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. on the dialer because there was no traffic. Nobody else was on it but this one individual, and they found 4 deals when other people that were stuck in the traffic, the people that were, in the saturated space, all clocked out at 6 o'clock and said there's nothing there. This person avoided the traffic, went somewhere with no traffic, meaning nobody's there, and they found a bunch of success. This is what I mean about avoiding traffic in life, avoiding traffic jams in life. And traffic jams is where all the average people hang. It's always going to be saturated, always going to be busy, always going to be jammed up where all the average people hang. Where is that? That's going to work right at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. with the traffic jams on the road. That's going to the gym and working out chest on a Monday with everybody else working out chest on a Monday. That's getting on a dialer and getting negative after an hour. That's giving up at 6 o'clock instead of going till 9 o'clock. And even in business, I thought about where's the traffic in business? It's having the difficult leadership conversations that nobody wants to have. There's no traffic there because nobody goes that far and does it. It's staying the late hours, the early hours. It's coming in on a Sunday, doing a weekly plan. Like pretty much these traffic jams, and how to avoid them is by doing the uncomfortable thing, the thing that you've been avoiding or that nobody really does. You have to look around at what you do and say, what does everybody do or the majority of people do in the field that I'm in? And then what could I do to take it further, to do something that not a lot of people are doing? So yeah, it leads back to discomfort. It leads back to doing something out of your comfort zone. It leads back to doing something additional that nobody else is doing. It leads me back to all the moves that I made in my life that made me successful. That was exactly it. When I was in the distribution sales, all the distribution drivers would come to the warehouse at 8 o'clock. They'd fill up their van, get their coffee. They'd head out at 9 o'clock. They'd hit traffic. They'd get to their first stop by 10 o'clock. I was the guy that was there at 5:30 a.m., leaving at 6, getting to my first stop by 6:15 with no traffic. And I'd have 3 or 4 fill-ups and $2,000 to $3,000 in revenue by the time the average person left the warehouse. I was avoiding the traffic. Taking it further, when I used to stop at these stores and talk to the owners, I was the guy that was writing down their kids' names and their spouses' names and what kind of phones they had and bringing them additional accessories and gifts for their kids and spouses so they'd like me more. I was the guy that was figuring out what kind of lunch they have and picking one of my favorite clients each day and bringing them lunch and eating lunch with them in the back and tripling my order size. I was the guy doing things where there was no traffic because none of my other guys were doing those kind of things. Even though I taught those kind of things, they're not easy, they're not comfortable, and a lot of people avoid discomfort. Then in the mortgage industry, I think about coming early to Quicken Loans in 2015 and being the guy to clear my emails, texts, create custom blasts before blasts were even a thing, create custom emails before emails were even a thing, and have them all shot out like missiles by 8 a.m. And then everyone's walking in between 8 and 9. I already have 1 or 2 deals. I was avoiding the traffic. Then even as a leader at Rocket Mortgage, I thought about what I did that no other leader did. I was the one doing 6 different one-on-ones with my people every single day, rotating those one-on-ones, getting to know my people on another level, game films, personal one-on-one, a shadow, reverse shadow, wild card. I had all these crazy one-on-ones I was doing. I was getting to know my people on another level and building a culture like nobody else because doing one-on-ones every single day, there's not a lot of traffic. Not a lot of leaders are doing those. They get too busy, they get sporadic, and they forget about them. But I was one of the leaders that kept doing those every single day, and I found a lot of success. And then I think about it in my life today, running the brokerage, doing the consulting work. Everything I do, people pay me to come into companies because I'm comfortable with the uncomfortable. I'm comfortable calling people out. I'm comfortable handling any objection in the world. I'm comfortable playing any call clip of mine out of the 1,000 call clips I have because there's a learning lesson in every single one. Because a lot of the leaders and owners that are at these companies are not comfortable or not doing that. They're stuck in the traffic jam. Is stay out of the traffic jam. Avoid the traffic by doing the things that nobody else is willing to do and doing the things and going to the places that are not saturated, which means going the extra mile. And client relations or customer care, that means getting to know your client a level deeper than everybody else. There's no traffic there. That means sending a heartfelt email and text. There's no traffic there. That means building a process that keeps them engaged. There's no traffic there. That means doing something different on your introduction. There's no traffic there. Because think about it. Everyone's doing, for the most part, the same introduction, the same kind of follow-ups, the same kind of call flow, the same kind of leads. Like, it's just a saturated world and environment. How do you get yourself out of the saturated environment, be different, go the extra mile, do the uncomfortable thing, and really look to the left and right and say, really, like, nobody else around me, none of my peers, they ain't doing the shit I'm doing. And that's going to get you results that they're not getting.